going on, Jerome's? So the drama of the Minnesota Vikings offseason, numero uno, besides who's going to play quarterback, is Justin friggin' Jefferson, right? Best wide receiver in the game, getting paid. Jefferson away from OTAs. Reportedly, he's going to show up next week for mandatory minicamp. It does make sense. And also, you do have a bunch of other receivers out there getting their paper. A.J. Brown, Amon St. Brown, Jalen Waddle, and Nico Collins just got paid this week. Pittman, Scary, Ridley got a contract, Devontae Smith. So all of these contracts are coming in, but Jefferson's going to supersede all of them, right? And you could say, well, the Vikings waiting, they're going to have to pay a little bit more. I honestly feel like these contracts don't impact the Jefferson contract like you would think it would. Like, there's a price point for JJ. I don't think it's necessarily shifting because Jalen Waddle is making $28.25. I just really don't see that. But long story longer, so Mike Florio, who we've tried to be as fair as possible, right? But we're going to call out BS when BS needs to be called out, because that's what we do. Like, we try to pride ourselves to call a spade. And Florio has built up a great business with Pro Football Talk. He is a noted Vikings fan. Here he is with Paul Allen, voice of the Vikings. It's not a thermos. But Florio has been... like, he's had this very strange hard-on the entire time about trading Justin Jefferson. And he, by the way, this is a carbon copy of what he did with Kirk Cousins. Like, if you're not going to pay Kirk, you got to trade him. Blah, blah, blah. Right. So he's been very consistent in that, Justin Jefferson, is good. You got to trade him if you're not going to pay him. And also, Florio... So I don't understand this with Florio. So Florio is a lawyer by trade, and he's reported on 17 bajillion contract negotiations, right? And sure, as some of these other lesser contracts come in, maybe it would affect some other deals, but it's not affecting Jefferson. All right. And like he's got to understand negotiations. Also, he's got to understand that the Wilfs, with their ownership, generally they like to do long-term extensions late July, before the start of training camp. But I don't know, like he's always, it's so weird. Like, Florio, with the other 31 teams, like, he's relatively buttoned up and he's a big J journalist, right? But with the Vikings, he turns into like your Nana's Vikings Facebook group. Should we trade Justin Jefferson for Sauce Gardner? I'll hang up and listen. Remember, it was Florio who started this whole, the Vikings are trying to trade up to 5 for Malik Neighbors stuff. And then, again, going back top left, so we call Winovich on draft night, but couldn't confirm it. Now Charlie Walters of the Pioneer Press reports on Buzz that the Vikings try to trade up for Malik Neighbors. You don't think that Charlie Walters' source, what was your ranting ass on draft night? A bajillion % it was. No one else sniffed this. No one else confirmed this because it's not true. It's just ridiculous, man. But again, we're here to try and call out malfeasance. But what's amazing, so Florio gone from doom and gloom with Justin Jefferson. The longer you wait, the more you'll have to pay him, and then you can't afford him, and then you'll have to trade him. Even though the Vikings are going to be top 3 in cap space in 2025, just ignores that convenient little piece of information. And also, Kwesi and company have been planning for this for years, but whatever. But Florio, I feel like Florio reacted to getting called out, because Vikings fans were on his ass, and he had a bit of a mea culpa, but of course he had to just bury it. All right, so in a piece, Tyreek Hill has been trying to get a new deal since 2023 season ended. So in a Tyreek Hill piece, he just slides in, bearing the lead. It's entirely possible, if not probable, if not likely, that that Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson will have a new contract as soon as next week. If that happens, it will reset the market and will give Hill a new target. So not just going back on, hey, the Vikings should trade Justin Jefferson or they have to pay him, blah, blah, blah. The Vikings are trying to trade him for Malik Neighbors. Yeah, screw addressing all of that. But instead, just slide in, not even its own standalone piece, just sliding in a piece about Tyreek Hill. I was like, the Jefferson deal might get done next week. Okay. But either way, things are going to get done, and then Florio will, I don't know what Florio's going to do for clicks. Who knows, man? Who knows? Start OnlyFans with the thermos? Who knows? But either way, JJ's going to get paid, and that's all that. It would be glorious if it's next week, because then we wouldn't have to worry about it over the 6-week break. That's it, man. Your thoughts are thoughts. Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, reporting that it's entirely possible, if not probable, if not likely, that Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson will have a new contract as soon as next week. Listener thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.